The Nashville Predators have to re-sign Filip Forsberg, and this is going to be interesting because he was mentioned in trade talks. I think it was last year or potentially the year before. Here's the problem:
year before.
You've got $16 million per year wrapped up in Duchesne and Johansson, and Forsberg's got to make more than that. But for this to work, he's going to have to come in lower than Roman Josi at 9.059, and they got to figure this out. Probably by the deadline. They could keep him if there's will to go on both sides. But if you're Filip Forsberg, you could go for the Big Ten. You could try. Couldn't you?
He's a guy. So he's only played 39 games this season. Had he not only been in 39 games and missed some time, he'd be in the Rocket conversation. By the time the season's done, he might be. He's got 26 goals in 39 games.
Insane.
It's dumb. It's I'll tell you what it is. It's an over 50 goal pace. Is what it is. That's the sort of season he's having. How often are you able to go out and get a potential 50 goal scorer at the deadline? How often are you at the risk of losing a potential 50 goal scorer?
For a team that's performed quite well.
Yeah, like Filip Forsberg going makes no sense. But again, there are a few teams in the league whose reality is not the reality of a consistent cap team. And the Nashville Predators are one of them. We sort of talked about, who are we talking about in that regard? The Ducks?
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember. And
yeah, the Ducks are.
Yeah, the Blues did this a few years ago when they were in a playoff spot and sold on Kevin Shattenkirk. And a couple of years later, ended up working out for them. Okay. They won a cup. I wonder if the Preds, who are doing so well, have to pull the chute here.
Can you move one of the other contracts?
Even if you can move one of the other contracts, you still need to sign this player.
Yeah.
Forsberg's got all the leverage here. Never mind. I was about to say, I didn't even realize this. They're leading their division. No, they're not. Wild card is not a division. They're, but they're the top wild card. Yeah, it is now. But they're 2 points back of second in the division, man. They're real good. They're real good. And Filip Forsberg holds all the cards.
I just want to throw this in there. It's breaking news, or somewhat breaking, I guess. Jokerit, which is a Finnish hockey club in the KHL, has pulled out of the KHL playoffs. I think CJ said yesterday on TSN that Finnair, which is one of their major sponsors, they weren't even sure if Finnair would fly them into Russia. And some of their other major sponsors just pulled out completely. So they are done for the season, which is pretty crazy. I just wanted to throw that in there. Sorry about that. So back to the trade deadline for a second here. The Forsberg thing is interesting. The question I have, which I think a lot of people had about the Toronto Maple Leafs, is can you be a viable winner every year on the Nashville Predators with a $9 million center, an $8 million center, and another $8 million center?
Yes, if they're good.
Yes, if they're good. Well, what's Ryan Johansson doing these days anyway?
So let me look it up because I know they're having better seasons than expected.
Duchesne's seems to be back on track a little bit. Okay, so Johansson's got 36 and 49. 36 points, 49 games.
Right. That's still an overpay, but it's good. And Duchesne, 46 points, 23 goals in 48 games. It's good.
Yep. That's what you need from an $8 million. Yeah. A point a game player, $8 million. That's a good deal.
Like $8 million. Centers are so valuable. Like, Jesus, if I'm Nazem Kadri, I head into this off season and there's no way I'm making less than either of those guys.
No way.
Are you joking me? No.
Yeah, no way.
There's just no way. But Duchesne, there may be takers, but he's the good one. Right.
And he's playing right wing this year, by the way. Granlund is the center.
Right.
So, but if you're a team, there's no reason to go out and get Duchesne now. Like, you can wait till the next 4 years of his contract. Why take a risk now on a Duchesne? Maybe this is his up year and then it goes back down on the charts. Like, why trade for him when there's so much time left on an $8 million per year deal and there's like 4 years left?
Well, if you want to win now and you need a guy like that, that would be
for Johansson.
That can't be the guy.
This could be Johansson's swan song. You know what I mean? Like, this could be the best his career is from now on,
right?
With his injury history and everything, and you root for him to be better than that. But you never know. People forget how gruesome his injury was. Like, wasn't it like an infection deep within his thigh or something that he suffered during the Stanley Cup final?
Or it was bad.
Just before the Stanley Cup final, it was really bad. Mm-hmm. The kind of thing that will change an athlete. So it's kind of. Contract aside, it's amazing he's still in the league. But for that reason, that's why it's kind of hard to go out and get a guy like that. Dave Poile has done a good job filling in the margins.
Absolutely. Remains one of the smartest GMs in the league.
Yeah. And like,
they never aren't in it. They never aren't in it, no matter what.
Luke Cunnin has been good for them. Yakov Trenin has been good for them. Philip Tomasino is a rookie who's only going to get better. Interested to see how they view Eli Tolvanen, who was once the best player outside of the NHL and isn't. Colton Sissons has been good. Tanner Jeannot. They've done a good job. And I it bears repeating. I had no idea UC Saros had this in them. Do you know how many games they've gotten out of goalies not named UC Saros?
How many?
10.
I don't know. Really?
10. 8 out of Dave Riddick, who I believe was hurt, and that's a big reason. And 2 out of Connor Ingram. That's it. Dave Riddick's an 890. Connor Ingram was a 906 in the games he played. Saros in 43 games is a 924.
Wow. They're also not in cap trouble. Like, you can leave all of those big contracts, those $8 million contracts there, and still add. Like, the Nashville Predators have done a fantastic job with their cap.
Poile, man,
it's amazing.
I think it gets done and he stays there.
Yeah.
I'm curious about what your thoughts are on Jared McCann. He's already at a career high in goals. He's going to be at a career high in points soon. Unrestricted free agency, but just went on the IR. So, I mean, obviously he could be off by the trade deadline, but is that a guy that, I mean, listen, if you can't get JT Miller, do you not call the Seattle Kraken about McCann and Giordano?
So, sorry, by the way, Jared McCann is an RFA.
RFA, excuse me.
Yeah, so that's... I mean, I think if I'm Ron Francis and I'm trying to build a team worth paying attention to, you pry Jared McCann out of my cold, dead hands. But maybe you get a premium as a result. The Seattle Kraken still have projected cap space of just under 6.9. Nice. And ridiculous amount of roster spots. So that's a thing that's sort of come up in conversations. I believe CJ's brought it up a bunch of times. Some teams are kind of close to the max amount of roster spots they can have, which is 50. Most teams are in the mid to high 40s. The Seattle Kraken have 37.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes. So to me, they're a prime candidate for ahoy hoy, feed us your garbage.
Yeah.
Yes. Are there any teams out there that are struggling to get underneath the cap? Please feed us your garbage. Bring us your trash.
Bring
your
out
garbage.
the dead. Bring
out your dead. It is because they can afford it in more ways than one, and they can still get what they want or wanted out of expansion, which is draft picks and cap room, because the garbage expires.
Right. Yeah. And to answer your McCann question, Adam, if I'm the GM of a team, I don't move my 25-year-old leading scorer of the team that I have control of.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's not, I don't think it's the right move for Francis to move.
Yeah, stupid.
So what about